Hey friend, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking all about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO. Just a little disclaimer here, I'm probably going to get his name wrong and probably going to say it 5 different times just in this one video, but y'all are going to have to forgive me. Jeff, the Amazon CEO, we're going to talk about all about how he has become the richest man in the world. We're going to talk about his business acumen, his decision-making criteria, and so much more today. But more importantly, take those principles and discuss how we can implement them in our businesses in order to see our business soar to record heights too. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, so quick disclaimer before we get into this, written by my legal team. And I just want to say this, right, that I've never met Jeff Bezos. I've never met him, only on YouTube. Jeff Bezos is not my friend, just putting that out there as well. I've never had the pleasure of his acquaintance. If I did, I'd probably ask him some questions like, Jeff, why is your laugh so strange?
That's important, isn't it? That's really good.
Like, Jeff, why is Seller Central support so rubbish? I'd probably ask him a few questions like, Jeff, when are you going to space? I'd probably ask him a few questions. But Jeff Bezos, like most incredibly, successful people, right? Inverted commas, because what is even success? But like most successful people, he divides opinion so much, with regards to morals, with regards to character. And I just want to say this at the outset. I'm not here to judge a man's character or to judge a man's morals, simply to discuss and analyze the business acumen of a man who has led Amazon.com to be the largest online retailer on the planet today. They're the second most valuable publicly traded company behind Apple, and they just recently went through the $1 trillion market cap, and ultimately leading him to become the richest man in modern history, surpassing the one and the only Bill Gates. So before you hate on me for, yeah, but he treats his staff really bad, like none of us really know exactly how he leads those things. None of us really know about his true morals and his true character because, we don't know him. And so I'm not here to judge him and for his morals or his character. I'm simply analyzing his business acumen. So that's my disclaimer before I get some hate in the comments, before you, tell me how much of a bad guy he is. We're discussing his business acumen. All right, let's go. All right, so let's break down how he has done it. Number one, this guy is a visionary. Some of the things he says in his interviews, man, you just know this guy bleeds vision. And it's so important that as business leaders, as leaders of any kind, that we are visionary people, that we've got a goal, we know where we're going to. I love to snowboard, and when I was getting taught how to snowboard, one of the things that they taught you is when you're facing up the mountain, you want to turn. When you want to turn, you've got to look the way that you're going, because ultimately in life, where you look is where you go. And so with a vision for our business, for our life, that determines so often where we go. So it's so important that we are visionary people. Jeff founded Amazon. He owns the Washington Post. He's on a mission to go to space. There's so many things that really do define the visionary nature of who he is. In a high school graduation speech, he outlined a vision for establishing colonies in outer space. I mean, think of that what you will, but it certainly is visionary. He said, I want millions of people living and working in space. I want us to be a space-faring civilization. I mean, some people call that quacko, but think of that what you will, but it's visionary at its most amazing potency. Opinions about life in space aside, this is clearly a guy who does not lack vision. In his 1997 letter to shareholders, Bezos wrote, "It's not easy to work here. When I interview people, I tell them you can work long, hard, or smart, but as Amazon.com, you can't choose 2 out of 3. He said, but we are working to build something important, something that matters to our customers, something that we can tell our grandchildren about. right at the outset of Amazon, 1997. He's telling people this isn't going to be easy. This isn't going to be just like a convenient thing that's just going to be a walk in the park. We're going to have to work hard, but we're building something that we're going to tell our grandchildren about, that's going to build a legacy. I love the vision that bleeds out of this man. American author Helen Keller once said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So make sure in your business you have a vision for where you're going. Honestly, it's the most powerful thing ever. Get that vision up on the wall, get some pictures to show where you're going, get it written down, write some goals out. There's so many facets to this that are important. So number one, he's visionary. Number two, he keeps his business lean. He keeps Amazon.com and his other businesses lean. In one of the interviews as Amazon was beginning to blow up, that's recently gone viral on YouTube and Facebook, it shows Jeff driving around in his Hyundai, and the guy interviewing him is kind of saying to him, like, why are you driving this cheap banged up old car around when you are the owner of this explosive business? There's also an image that's gone super viral recently of Jeff sitting at his desk, which is made out of like a door on, makes the tabletop of the desk. And again, asking, why are you in these conditions? And I love Jeff's mentality. He's all about making sure the business is as lean as possible. Again, think of it what you will, but there's reports that Amazon employees are never offered any perks. It's the very basic working conditions. And whilst that's not how I would run my company at a staffing level, an employee level, it's this mentality of keeping things lean that has helped to fuel Amazon's growth. You see, you can't grow a business as quick as Amazon have grown it if you're wasting money on unnecessary expenditure. So let's, again, a principle that we can employ in our business, make sure we're keeping it lean. If you're running an Amazon FBA business, don't get every piece of software under the sun. Choose only the ones you actually need. Make sure that you choose products that actually are going to work in your marketplace. Do your research up front. Keep your expenditure down. Only pump money into those things that are going to grow your business quick. Keep it lean. The third thing I love about Jeff Bezos is that he is driven. He's a driven personality. He's driven, but notice this, he's not driven by money. And see, a lot of people in this space are driven by money, and it's all about the revenue numbers, the money they can make. But what I'm trying to do differently, and with this channel, and be different with, is that, for me, this isn't all about money. Money in and of itself is not that important, but it's what money provides for us, the freedom, the possibilities, that which we can do with our life that we couldn't if we didn't have it. And so for me, time is so much more valuable than money, which is why I'm on a mission to free as many people from that grip that money places over time. And I love this about Jeff, is that he wasn't driven by money, but incredibly driven to make a difference. Years ago, his high school girlfriend told the magazine Wired that she had always expected him to make a fortune, tracing his drive to an early dream of exploring outer space. It wasn't about money itself, she says. It was about what he was going to do with the money, about changing the future. Oh my gosh, you've got to hear that. It wasn't about the money itself, but it was about what he could do with that money, that he could change the future. Now again, you may not choose to use money to change our interaction with space. It may be something different for you, but if only we could all understand this, that money in and of itself doesn't mean much, but that we could be driven by making a difference with the finances that we attain. Number four, he was fearless. Fearless. I love this clip right here.
So, Bold Bets, AWS, Kindle, Amazon Prime, our third-party seller business, all of those things are examples of bold bets that did work, and they pay for a lot of experiments. I've made billions of dollars of failures at Amazon.com. Literally, billions of dollars of failures.
This guy was willing to take risks right at the outset of Amazon. He said, we're going to go big on this. We're going to dive into this. It might not work. We might fail. As he says, we've had so many failures, like multi-million-dollar failures, and so many of us are worried about failing. In a 2010 speech at Princeton, Bezos recorded his decision to head west and start Amazon as the less safe path. I decided I had to give it a shot, Jeff said. I didn't think I'd regret trying and failing, and I suspected I would always be haunted by a decision to not try at all. Somebody watching today, you need to hear that again. I didn't think I'd regret trying and failing, but I did think I would regret to not try at all. So many of us are crippled by that fear of failure, as we've talked about in previous videos. But I want to encourage you today to have a mindset change, a mindset that says, I'm gonna take some risks in this business. I'm gonna step out in order to be able to see my dreams come to fruition. Number 5, Jeff is obsessed with the end user. He's obsessed with the customer experience. Have you ever taken a ride with Uber? Uber, the cab company. I recently took a ride with Uber, and I was discussing with my Uber driver how the market is, and what's it like to be an Uber driver. Just like to sort of, strike up conversation. And he says to me, it's not as good as it used to be in Manchester where I live. There used to be 800 Uber drivers, and now in the last year it's grown to over 5,000 Uber drivers. And I was like, whoa, man, that's crazy. And he says, yeah, that means it's hard to get, consistent work, and there's so much competition for, jobs. And he said to me, but at the end of the day, Uber only care about the customer. And whilst that's a sad reality, and whilst we see that in Amazon too, because their priority is not necessarily us as sellers, but their end user, the customers, whilst that is frustrating for us, like the Uber driver, or for us sometimes as sellers, it does mean that the business that is being created is one that customers flock to. Customers love Uber because of its convenience. Customers love Amazon because of its convenience, its pricing. It's all set up specifically for the end user. Amazon invests billions of dollars every year into research, investigation, how they increase and improve the customer experience, because Jeff is passionate about the end user experience, and so should we be about our business, be passionate about the experience of our customers. All right, number 6, nearly there, nearly finished. Number 6, he is innovative. Jeff is an innovative leader. When starting Amazon, it was a revolutionary business. I mean, here's the first Amazon website, right? If anybody's old enough to remember when websites looked like that, you know that the internet wasn't a big thing back then. But here is Jeff Bezos. Here's what he said.
Where did you get an idea for Amazon.com?
Well, 3 years ago, I was in New York City working for a quantitative hedge fund when I came across the startling statistic that web usage was growing at 2,300% a year. So I decided I would try and find a business plan that made sense in the context of that growth. And I picked books as the first best product to sell online, which are making a list of like 20 different products that you might be able to sell.
You see, he saw a marketplace that wasn't established yet, but was beginning to grow, and innovated within that space. As business leaders, as people that are running businesses, our mindset should be one of innovation. We as business leaders should take time in our diaries in order to be able to just think, in order to just be able to create and innovate and think, how can we drive our business forward? How can we innovate our products? How can we innovate our businesses? Because by taking time to do this, we can create far better products than just copying what anyone else is doing. You weren't born to be someone that just copies other business people. There's an innovation spark inside of you, and on this Mindset Monday, I'm hoping that it is sparked into something new. Innovation really begins to fire inside of you as much as it does in Jeff Bezos. And finally, right, I think this is important for business people, for leaders, for people that are driven. Jeff places a high value on rest. Strange one to finish with, I know, because we're talking about being driven and mindset, but so many of us are working so hard to try and get somewhere that we forget that this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon, that this life is a long one that we're going to live, and we don't want to burn out within a couple of years of running our business, but actually at times we have to set in place some boundaries and say, you know what, no, I'm going to be someone that prioritizes rest and other things for the health of my body, like exercise, like a good diet, like all of those things, like time with my kids, time with my family, time with my spouse. All of those things are important, not just to the health of our body, but to the health of our mind. And I want to encourage you, as I close this video out, look after yourself. Look after yourself. Jeff says that he sleeps every single night without failure 8 hours a night. Many people would wonder, how is that even possible with what he does and the businesses that he runs? And there would be contrary arguments from people that would only sleep a few hours a night and think that they're super important because of that. Well, I want to encourage you to get the right amount of rest you need, to get the right amount of exercise you need, spend time doing things that free your soul, that really do fill you up, fill your tank up again, that you're energized and full of life. Take a day off. Don't work every single day of the week. Take time off and really do what you can to look after yourself in the long run, because that is how you're going to build the most healthy business, is if you are the most healthy business leader. So there's a few thoughts from the life and times of Jeff Bezos. His business acumen, his decision-making criteria, his ability to step out and take risks, and I hope that helped. There's obviously so much more. If you are someone who's studied the life of Jeff a little bit and you've got some other thoughts you want to add in the comments below, feel free, please do that, and let us know some other attributes about him and that are great. Maybe you want to just let off a little bit of steam about how badly he does things as well. You can also let off steam in the comments below. We can get into some debate about that. I would love some of that. Make sure you hit the like button so people can, more people can hear about this and really employ these principles, and let's grow great businesses all around the world. Subscribe. We've got some more great content coming up. I'd love you to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I release those videos on a regular basis. And if you would like my help to launch a business that sells products on Amazon that has the potential to free you up from that 9-to-5 grind lifestyle and free you up and to live the life that you always dreamed of, I've done it myself, and now I would love to try and help you do it. And so there is a guide in the description below that you can pick up for free. Grab that and let me know if you need any help moving on. Connect with me in any way that's down in the description below, and I will see you in the next video. All right, see you soon.